Prime Minister Modi reviews preparedness of COVID-19 vaccine delivery, distribution and administration, appreciates the comprehensive efforts of the stakeholders in the vaccine development, directs a time-bound plan for early rollout of the vaccination drive, also reviews the aspects of emergency use authorization of the vaccine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to grace the 8th convocation of Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University via video conferencing. Around 2,600 students to get their respective degrees and diplomas today. Union Home Minister to lay foundation stone to a slew of infrastructure projects, including Phase 2 of Chennai Metro Rail project worth rupees 67,000 crore in Tamil Nadu today. Also to dedicate Gandhinagar reservoir, the 5th reservoir for Chennai, worth 380 crore to meet the additional requirement for drinking water of the city. India raises reservation on UNSC area formula but participates for Afghanistan, slams terror safe havens across Duran line, reiterates the peace process must be Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled. Calls for removal of artificial transit barriers imposed on the country. Day 1 of G20 virtual summit today. Saudi Arabia chairs the summit. The theme for this year's summit is realizing the opportunities of the 21st century for all. Likely to discuss on inclusive and sustainable recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. WHO issues conditional recommendation against the use of remdesivir in COVID-19 patients. Serbian player Novak Djokovic takes on Austria's Dominic Thiem in the first semi-final of the ATP Finals in London today. Usha Arg, the last day of the festival of Chhath Puja being celebrated in North India with fervour and gaiety. Devotees make offerings to the rising sun at the river bank and break their 36-hour fast, resulting in the end of the festival. Good morning. Welcome to English News this Saturday morning at 7:30. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday reviewed the preparedness of COVID-19 vaccine delivery, distribution and administration. The Prime Minister appreciated the efforts of innovators, scientists, academicians and pharma companies in their efforts to develop vaccines and directed that every effort should be made to help the research, development and manufacturing of the vaccine. Prime Minister also reviewed the aspects of emergency use authorization and for manufacture and procurement of medicine. He directed that a time-bound plan be laid out for speedy regulatory clearances and timely procurement for early rollout of the vaccination drive. He appreciated comprehensive efforts at vaccine development. Prime Minister Modi also emphasized that given the persisting pandemic scenario, there is no place for any relaxation in preventive measures such as wearing masks, keeping distance and ensuring hygiene. The meeting was attended by Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretary, Member Health, Niti Aayog, Principal Scientific Advisor, Secretary Health, DG ICMR, officers of PMO and secretaries related departments of the Government of India. Five vaccines are in advanced stage of development in India, out of which 4 are in Phase 2, Phase 3 and 1 in Phase 1 and 2. The government has provided assistance of 900 crores under COVID Suraksha mission to support research and development of COVID-19 vaccination. The digital platform for vaccine administration and distribution is prepared and test runs are underway in partnership with the state and district level stakeholders. In an effort to administer the vaccine at the first available opportunity, database of healthcare and frontline workers, augmentation of cold chains and procurement of syringes, needles, etc. are in advanced stage of preparation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will grace the 8th convocation of the Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University today via video conferencing. About 2,600 students will get their respective degrees or diplomas at the convocation. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of the 45 megawatt production plant of the monocrystalline solar photovoltaic panel and the Center of Excellence on Water Technology during the event. The convocation will also witness the Prime Minister inaugurating Innovation and Incubation Center, Technology Business Incubation, Translational Research Center and a sports complex at the Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday held a review meeting with Home Minister, National Security Advisor, Foreign Secretary and top intelligence establishment over the Nagrota encounter. According to sources, it was found that the terrorists were planning a big attack on the anniversary of the 26/11 terror attacks.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday said the security forces had defeated a nefarious plot to target grassroots-level democratic exercises in Jammu and Kashmir by killing 4 terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based terrorist organization Jaish-e-Mohammed. PM Modi held a review meeting with the top security brass, including Home Minister Amit Shah, as it emerged that Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists killed in an encounter on the outskirts of Jammu were planning a big terror operation on the anniversary of the 26/11 Mumbai attack. NSA Ajit Doval, Foreign Secretary and top intelligence officials attended the meeting in which PM took stock of the situation. Taking to Twitter, PM Modi said, neutralizing of 4 terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based terrorist organization Jaish-e-Mohammed and the presence of large cache of weapons and explosives with them indicates that their efforts to wreak major havoc and destruction have once again been thwarted. Our security forces have once again displayed utmost bravery and professionalism. Thanks to their alertness, they have defeated a nefarious plot to target grassroots-level democratic exercises in Jammu and Kashmir. 4 terrorists who recently infiltrated from Pakistan were killed and 2 policemen injured in a gunfight at the Ban Toll Plaza near Nagrota on the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway on Thursday. The 4 had huge amount of ammunition and explosive materials on them. Sources said the Pakistan-based terrorists were planning something big on the anniversary of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks on November 26th.
Now that the District Development Council elections have been planned, which marks the beginning or resumption of the democratic process in Kashmir and also signals that democracy is gaining roots, Pakistan is once again trying to disrupt that process.
The thwarted attack is being seen as an attempt to disturb peace in Jammu and Kashmir. To strengthen grassroots democracy in the Union Territory, District Development Council polls are being held in J&K next week.
370 खत्म होने के बाद भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल के इलेक्शन की क्या जरूरत थी? हमारे लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर भी बैठे हुए हैं, ऑफिसर भी बैठे हुए हैं, चल रहा था काम। जैसे महबूबा जी चला रही थी, जैसे फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब चला रहे थे, जैसे और कांग्रेस पार्टी के लोग चला रहे थे, वैसे हम भी चलाते रहते हैं। लेकिन हमने कहा नहीं, जो पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस है उसमें पीपुल्स पार्टिसिपेशन होना चाहिए। जो सियासी और जो लोकतांत्रिक प्रोसेस है उसमें लोगों की भागीदारी और हिस्सेदारी होनी चाहिए।
The interception and killing of these 4 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists is also being seen as yet another success of the border grid in J&K that was strengthened this year by combining strict surveillance by Army and BSF troops at the LOC and international border with Pakistan, with good presence and higher alertness levels of J&K police in border districts to intercept and neutralize terrorists who manage to sneak in before they can strike. With Sudhakar Das, DD India.
Well, moving to the next story, Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Tamil Nadu today. Home Minister will visit will see the inauguration of many infrastructure projects in the state. The Union Home Minister will dedicate the 380 crore Thervoy Kandigai reservoir in neighbouring Tiruvallur district. The reservoir formed by combining two lakes, Thervoy Kandigai and Kanankotai, will meet Chennai's additional requirement for drinking water. Well, let's now head across straight to a live function of a passing out parade in Chennai.
In this domain, ladies and gentlemen, our country is passing through a difficult period wherein we are facing certain challenges threatening the unity and integrity of our nation. As future officers of the Indian Army, you will carry a heavy responsibility in meeting each of these challenges. Armed forces, you must remember, are the symbol of national integration and an example to all, to the entire nation. In our army, we have soldiers from all states, all castes and religions. They eat, play, train and fight together. You have to place your sacred duty to the nation above all other interests and fulfill your oath to uphold the Constitution of India and to maintain the unity and sovereignty of our country. On the operational front, as I told you last evening, there is a dynamic environment prevailing and all of you need to be fully aware of the same. But all future conflicts will be earmarked by jointness between the three services and jointness between all arms and services as a cogent whole. And hence, I exhort the necessity of jointness in operations in the armed forces. You must endeavor to think and plan jointness with other services for the conduct of conventional and sub-conventional operations. This will propel you to further refine the much needed integration amongst the armed forces of our nation. Today, I am also delighted to see officer cadets from Bhutan, Afghanistan and Maldives who have successfully completed their training. My congratulations to your government and countrymen on receiving such fine young men and women into their armed forces. Each one of you has done extremely well on the course. I also would like to extend my heartiest felicitations to the proud parents and guardians of all our cadets who have motivated their wards to join this noble profession in order to maintain the current pandemic environment and protocols. The parents and guardians are not here with us today, but I am certain they are watching this magnificent parade through virtual means on the television. Finally, I would like to wish each one of you good luck and Godspeed in all your endeavors and a very, very successful and happy career in the Indian Army. Jai Hind.
The coronavirus pandemic and the eventful nationwide lockdown delayed the training schedule in the Army's prestigious Officers Training Academy in Chennai. As a result, the ceremonial passing out parade, that's the POP, marking the completion of the training schedule for officer cadets in the academy, could not be held in September this year and is being held today. The ceremonial passing out parade in the academy is a biannual event in the Officers Training Academy, usually held in March and September. The passing out parade marks the completion of the training programs of officer cadets, and these officers are commissioned into various arms and services of the Army only on the day of the passing out. Well, moving out now to our next story that comes from Tamil Nadu, where Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Tamil Nadu today. Home Minister's visit will see the inauguration of many infrastructure projects in the state. The Home Minister will dedicate the 380 crore Thervoy Kandigai reservoir in neighborhood Tiruvallur district. The reservoir formed by combining two lakes, Thervoy Kandigai and Kanakkotai, will meet Chennai's additional requirements for drinking water. Spread across 1,495 acres, it will serve as the fifth reservoir for the city and help to avert a drought-like situation in case of failure of rains. Amit Shah will also lay the foundation stones for a slew of projects worth over 67,000 crore rupees during his visit. The Home Minister will lay the foundation stones for Phase 2 of the Chennai Metro Rail project, the Coimbatore Avinashi Elevated Expressway project, Indian Oil Corporation's Petroleum terminal at Vellore, and a 1,400 crore loop plant, among others. Amit Shah will also address a meeting of BJP state office bearers and district presidents later in the day. Well, for more on that story, Philip Matthew, our correspondent, joining us from Chennai. Philip, good morning. Philip, give us a sense of this particular inauguration that's going to be done today by the Home Minister, especially when it comes to, the reservoir that's going to be, dedicating a 380 crore reservoir there. How big a benefit is it going to be, especially when it comes to the people of Chennai, who are already reeling under, water scarcity?
The nail on the head. Chennai has been a water-starved city for quite a long time.
True.
And this particular reservoir, the Thervoy Kandigai reservoir, will act as the fifth reservoir for the city. The city already has 4 reservoirs, but it has often been seen that in times of drought, these 4 reservoirs usually run dry, and the water isn't sufficient to meet the needs of the growing population of the city. So it was felt around a decade or so ago that another reservoir was required to store water that was being received, from the Krishna River in Andhra Pradesh, and this water could be used to supply around 65 million liters a day, to the city, and that would serve to meet the needs of its residents for at least another month. So, the idea is to augment the water supply of the city, and that is being done in phases. And this is a prestigious project for the government. And don't forget, there are elections around the corner in May next year. So, the government is going full speed ahead with various welfare schemes. And this is one of the key projects which the Chief Minister has promised earlier, and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will be dedicating it to the nation today. And apart from that, of course, we have Phase 2, the Chennai Metro Rail project, which is again another prestigious project. The Phase 2 expansion will take the Metro Rail to both the northern and the eastern corridors of the city. So it's clearly something that's going to, again, change the face of transport as far as Chennai is concerned. So all these are major projects. Apart from that, of course, there are projects of the Indian Oil Corporation, a petroleum terminal, and a loop plant being inaugurated at various places. So the fact that around 67,000 crore rupees worth of projects are being, inaugurated today is a matter of great significance, considering the fact that, the state is due to face elections in around 5 to 6 months from now.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Philip, thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates there on that story. Moving on, let's now bring you some updates on COVID-19 pandemic across the country. There is some good news on the vaccine front, which one hopes will help us win over the pandemic soon.
Encouraging news is emerging across the world with regard to the coronavirus vaccine. In India, the Pune-based Serum Institute of India has expressed hope. Oxford's COVID-19 vaccine will be available for the masses from April next year. The Serum Institute further said that the vaccine will be administered to elders and healthcare workers from February 2021, while it will reach the common man by April. It is hoped that by 2024, every Indian will be vaccinated. In Haryana, the third phase trial of Covaxin started from Friday. The state's health minister Anil Vij was administered dose of Bharat Biotech vaccine under supervision of a specialized team of doctors. The extent of the contagious nature of coronavirus can be gauged from the fact that out of 42 residents of Thorang village in Lahore,
the passing out cadets are now all set to take formal leave of this academy. For them, the hour has come to bid adieu to the Officers Training Academy, which has been their home for 1 year. They will come forward in slow march past the saluting dais, taking their final step to the tune of All Lang Syne. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and days of All Lang Syne? And surely ye will be your pints too, and surely I will be mine, and we will take a cup of kindness, yet for All Lang Syne. This haunting melody of All Lang Syne, the lyrics of which were composed by Robert Burns, has never failed to bring back memories to many minds, nostalgia to many hearts, and tears to many eyes. Gentlemen, comes the defining moment, the time for which this solemn ceremony is being held. The passing out cadets will go past the saluting dais in slow march, taking their final step through the ceremonial arch. No doubt, for the passing out cadets, there is a sense of achievement, and for their parents, a sense of great pride. But unheard and unfelt is the transformation and expectation which this occasion demands from each one of them. A momentous occasion indeed, unforgettable and enthralling. I am sure they will forever relive this moment. Even today, all officers experience that nostalgic quiver whenever they hear the tune of All Lang Syne, to the strains of which these young men and women pass out from the Officers Training Academy today.
Time and tide wait for none, yet another group of cadets pass out of the academy, bid adieu to their alma mater, leaving behind memories entwined between the pages of time. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier who made the supreme sacrifice protecting it. To borrow the words of Longfellow, lives of great men all remind us that we can make our lives sublime and, departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Dear cadets, our prayers will always be with you wherever you go and whatever you do. May you survive many a storm without losing your calm. May you surmount many a challenge with dash and elan. May the sun never set over your ambitions and aspirations. May your days be always filled with sunshine and happiness. In your hour of crisis, may you remember these inspiring lines of Rudyard Kipling. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew, serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, hold on. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And what is more, you'll be a man, my son. Our parting message to the passing out cadets is, make history if you can. Make a difference which you can.
Well, those were live visuals of the passing out parade that is taking place in the Army's prestigious Officers Training Academy in Chennai. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of News. Thanks for watching. You take good care of yourself. Bye for now.